We found her on a windless morning, lying beneath the cold steel bar of an abandoned storage shed. It wasn't a coincidence that she chose that spot. Perhaps she had crawled there to wait for a miracle, or simply to let the pain that had eaten at her for weeks finally end. A small group of locals stood nearby, trying to keep quiet so they wouldn't frighten her further. And when we approached, I saw relief in their eyes, while in her eyes, there was nothing but exhaustion and surrender. She didn't bark. She didn't growl. She didn't even try to escape. She just lay there, with a swollen, misshapen muzzle and a breath so shallow it felt like the world was squeezing her lungs shut. But what shocked me most was the wire around her neck, a tightly twisted steel snare, the kind used in dog theft. The wire had cut deep into her skin, carving a purple, hardened trench that told a long story of struggling, suffocating, and eventually giving up. And yet, she still hoped. She had been seen in the area for almost a month, hiding, running, starving, trembling. A month of fear and pain alone. One of the women who reported her short hair, tired eyes had stayed here for days. She told me she barely slept at all. She didn't dare leave because, in her words, if I go home tonight, she might die alone before sunrise. For many nights, she sat on a low brick by the empty lot, eating cold rice, watching to see whether the dog was still breathing. Listening to her, I felt something inside my chest tighten with admiration and sorrow. As we moved closer, the dog tried to stand, but her legs trembled under the weight of her own suffering. The swelling around her mouth was so severe that she could barely open it. During the long days trapped in the snare, she must have tried to eat anything she could, leaves, scraps, even rainwater, until the skin around her muzzle tore open, leaving raw flesh and pus. And yet, when my hand touched her head, she leaned into it, just a gentle nudge, a small, fragile reminder that she still wanted to trust someone. I named her Lena, a name soft as new leaves, warm as the first sunlight after rain. I wanted her to have a name that felt like a beginning, not an ending. When we carried her out of the shed, Lena looked up at each of us with cloudy brown eyes, still glimmering with a faint trace of belief. As if she knew the worst part of her story was finally behind her. As if she knew the steel snare, the same kind that has taken the lives of countless dogs, would no longer steal another breath from her. But her injuries were far from simple. The veterinarians had to examine the deep tissue around her neck to see whether necrosis had spread toward the airway. They had to check whether her swollen muzzle could still heal, and whether her heart, so exhausted, still had enough strength for the procedures ahead. We had seen cases like Lena before: dogs strangled nearly to death by wire snares, dogs abandoned in ditches with their collars embedded into their flesh. Not all of them survived. Hope does not always arrive in time, but Lena lay quietly in our arms, occasionally wagging her tail with the tiniest effort, as if saying, "I'll try, just a little longer." When we finally cut the steel wire off her neck, a large piece of dead tissue peeled away with it. The smell of blood and decay rose sharply into the air. Lena didn't flinch. She exhaled softly, almost peacefully, as though she had been waiting weeks to take that breath. The short-haired woman burst into tears. She whispered, "At least, she doesn't have to fight alone anymore." And in that moment, I knew Lena was truly saved.